Hello Ether community, I'm Nifty and this video is probably a long time coming. The backdrop here is a Super Mario World hack called Mario's Misadventures, the secret of the 11 gems. I just needed some kind of video behind me today, but to briefly say, so far this hack is pretty fun and pretty easy. The same difficulty as the early stages of actual Super Mario World. I went to SMW Central to look for the first Super Mario World hack that was a 5.0 rating, and this one was the most recent one that came up, so I gave it a try, and I don't regret it. It's pretty fun if you're looking for that kind of thing. But today's focus is actually creating a roadmap for you to better understand where Ether is going. Ether's been up and running for a couple years now, and we have been learning and growing this whole time as content creators and more. But while we've improved in many ways, there's likely been, at times, a blind spot for community growth and outreach. Answers to the "what the heck are they doing over there?" question. So this is a first attempt to try and correct for that. JC's been doing a wonderful job with the presidential updates on the Discord, and if you want detailed backlogs of what we've been doing, where our mindset has been in the past, that's your best bet for that information. But perhaps that method of communication, the presidential channel on our Discord, isn't reaching a wider audience. It only makes sense for us to release these kind of video updates given our YouTube presence. So it's March 2024, and here's a roadmap of what Ether is working on now, what's behind us in the rearview mirror, and where we'd like to go in the future. There's two divisions of Ether I want to talk about today, the social network concept and the content creation side. First, let's take a look at the social network concept. Ether's origins date back to projects like the Revolver Gaming Network and others that predate even my time here. But one thing has always remained consistent. We've always wanted to create a new social network, a platform, for folks to come and grow along with us. I don't know if you've been on Facebook or Reddit or Twitter, X or whatever it is lately, but social networks don't feel like the healthiest places for human interactions, even though we spend a lot of time on them as a society. So the largest goal of Ether has always been to actually collect support and experience, to create a new social network platform that would be a healthier place for our community and other communities. There are a lot of ideas on how it would look, what we would do, and we have no shortage of ideas. And for practical business reasons, I can't reveal all of the trade information we as founders discuss, which there was some confusion in the past about why we had people who worked with us sign NDAs. And it's been for these reasons. Frankly, we're scared someone with immense wealth will scoop some of our ideas before we can grow enough to have a chance at them ourselves. As the originators of these ideas, we want to try and serve our community with our original intentions in mind, not potentially malicious corporate culture stealing away our ambitions and corrupting them. Talking from personal interest and mindset, here's one I've always wanted to see happen, which I guess if you're the Zuck or Musk and you're listening, here's a freebie. But it's said with the interest of showing you, our audience, that there's thought and attention here. When I joined Revolver, which was a precursor of Ether, one of the ideas already being tossed around that got me in the door was for a section of a social network that would connect folks with specific needs with other folks who can answer those questions. I remember mental health being one example. If you were someone needing to talk with a mental health professional, perhaps urgently, there could be a little button on the site to connect you with someone immediately. Same for financial advice, career decisions, relationship counseling, whatever it was, just a network that could immediately connect those in need with those who could assist. But that's just a concept, it's an idea, and we've gotten ourselves into plenty of trouble, past and present, in over-promising and under-delivering. We're aware of that. So I can't make any guarantee that something like that will come to be. Just that it's the kind of ideas we're trying to incorporate, ideas that put a community and its members first. But we're only 3 people, and none of us with a wealth of tech experience, or wealth to just go out and buy an armada of computer programmers. For instance, yours truly, Nifty here, majored in political communications. Not a lot of coding experience in this old brain of mine. I feel pretty fancy when I get my controller's hardware drivers updated. So that's where the content creation side of things comes in. It's a chance for multiple things. One is for us to interact with you folks, let you know that we're decent people. Maybe people in way over our heads, but people you've seen frequently for a while now, You know our character through our content, the good and also maybe the bad. Another is to build an online presence and portfolio for ourselves. We don't have coding experience, sure, but we do have a product. We are dedicated, we try to be persistent, and we can deliver. And finally, transparently, it's a chance for us to build a pool of viewers who trust us enough so that when we get to the stage of actually having a social network product, folks will take the plunge with us when we have some sort of beta to test out. But these are ideas, concepts, ambitions, hopes, and dreams that have been baked into Ether from the very beginning. Dare I say, this side has been more important to us than the content creation side at times, because we feel there's a space in the world at large for a social network that curates for its users, a social network designed for positive networking, a place for good people to have good connections. And so if you're here watching this, thanks. And also, that's a journey that we've been taking that we don't communicate often enough, to be honest, because we're scared. We're scared to death of being scooped on our ideas by a large, resource-rich operator without a soul. But that does explain a lot of the behind-the-scenes intentions we have. And if you had no idea these were our goals, then that's absolutely our fault. I'm not trying to spring anything on you here. We have always felt we're walking a tightrope between trade secrets and community transparency. So this is a roadmap video, and the current road we're traveling on for our social network is one of, in particular, financial and trade support. We're not at the stage yet where we're begging for donations on a Patreon or anything. We'll get there, I'm sure, don't worry. Plenty of hat in hand to come, I'm sure. But right now, that's an unfair ask for a group of folks that are still learning to walk before running. And in transparency, we do fall into the trap of spending a lot of time in the content creation side. We all know how to do that. It's our comfort zone, and it's more immediately rewarding. I've been working full-time hours on my YouTube videos on ETHERxNIFTY, because that's where I can invest my time for Ether right now, but it's only one aspect of our ambitions. So this does seem like a great transition moment to talk about the other side, content creation. Where are we going with that? I asked the other two guys, JC and Jose, to throw some thoughts at me for this video. And one thing JC wanted to mention that we had some key discussions at the end of 2023 about the content workload. Frankly, a video every day was too much for us to handle, and even if it wasn't, it left very little room for us to expand in other directions, particularly the social network side, as I was saying earlier. So in approaching 2024, we wanted to slow the YouTube content a touch and focus elsewhere as well. But this also helps with any sense of burnout we might have had with the creating content, which is a thing every YouTuber will discuss eventually. So we're making gameplay videos because that's in our DNA in every way, but we're being much more flexible with ourselves with the scheduling of those videos. Again, one thing we've struggled with in the past is overpromising and underdelivering, and it comes from, I think, a good place. A place of wanting to bring the world to you amazing people that make our community. But we're only 3 people, and we're attending YouTube college and business startup university at the same time. It's a lot, and we're trying to do right by you. But to answer more directly about our ambitions, not promises, but ambitions with content going forward, here's kind of a breakdown of everything intended, at least that I can think of in this script. JC loves making variety content, and I expect that will continue here on Ether. He's had an idea for a while about incorporating a wheel that he'll spin to determine what games he plays, so stay tuned for that in some form in the content. With Jose, he wants to return to streaming frequently. We all love ourselves some Jose streams, and I look forward to that. And here's a great chance for community input, by the way. We'll be trying out streams on Twitch along with Kick and YouTube in the coming weeks. Let us know as we go which platforms you prefer. All 3 of us also agree we need to incorporate more shorts into our content diet for YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Feels like if you're not putting your toes in those waters, you end up missing the bigger fish. Is that a metaphor? Anyway, for myself directly, I'm already in way over my head on an ambitious sim racing schedule. I joined a league called GymDcar, and I've been streaming that on Twitch every Monday that there's a league race. My AI content is still happening as well, and I'm throwing introductions to those races that hopefully set the stage in one way or another for the race that you'll see. Beyond that, I had a request to continue my NHL 24 franchise videos, but they were extremely time-consuming to edit, taking a 3-4 hour stream and trying to reduce it to 30 minutes. So I'll probably just restart the NHL 24 franchise mode and stream it on the ETHERxNIFTY YouTube. Which, by the way, that's where all the racing videos end up, is ETHERxNIFTY on YouTube. I also intend for the Nifty Thoughts series to return here on ETHERxSOCIAL. I really liked nerding out about Star Trek for a minute, and it might not surprise you to learn that I'm a nerd about probably 100 other things. But viewer, I'm going to say right now that I'm not promising a specific return date for that content. Like all things I find myself doing, it's rather time intensive. Recording the background Mario hack video here was also a lot of fun, so I'll keep that in mind. But again, this is a factor on projects I direct my attention towards. It's how much time I have to do things. But that's just about all I can think of saying. More of these roadmap videos will be coming, not over-promising on delivery times, but if they seem like they're working as community tools, I'd bet we'll be doing them more frequently. I've been Nifty, you've been niftier. I'll see you out there in the ether.